Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is to and for you. So, Alexa, volume down one. So, I'm getting ready to do the rising wisdom to start your day. It's too close. It's too close. Okay. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. If you're returning to my channel, welcome back to my channel. Okay. I appreciate you. Your likes, shares, comments, subscriptions, super chats, gifts, memberships, and all of that. You are appreciated. I just heard that in Tupac voice. You are appreciated. Okay, dear mama. Okay, nah. Tupac, dear mama. All right, now. That's what I heard. You are appreciated. I ain't mad. Okay, I like it. I like it. Okay, so if you are new here, visit the playlist section. Okay. Visit the playlist section. Happy new moon, Capricorn. It's a new moon today in Capricorn. Okay. Um, go put you on some black and blue, baby. Or just black, you know. 'Tis the moon cycle. Ah. Anyway, so I'm getting ready to do the rising wisdom to start your day, okay? Which is just a positive affirmation to get you along your day on a positive note, okay? After I finish this, I'm going to go over to members and do the members only content for today, which is on a positive note message as well as the moon energy message, okay? Yeah. So today we have a new moon, and well, it's actually on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius, FYI. So just a heads up there. Um, so just know the energy you in. If you're a Capricorn or an Aquarius, FYI, the moon cycle is full of your energy. Okay, full of it. Okay, okay. I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there. I'm gonna let that one breathe. I'm gonna leave that one alone, okay? Um. So yeah, visit the playlist section if you are new here. There are 5 playlists, okay? 5. Only 3 are publicly visible. We got a Mercury retrograde coming up. Okay, it makes sense now. We in pre-retrograde energy. Yeah, okay. Maybe we entering into pre-retrograde, Mercury retrograde energy. That's what it is. Cause what the communication been janky, baby. Okay, so I'll talk about that in when the time comes. When we get closer to the Mercury retrograde energy. I believe it's mid-February. I think it's February 16th or 17th. It might even be the 18th. I gotta check and make sure. And it goes through March, right before spring. March. Yeah, it ends right before spring starts. So the last few weeks of winter will be in Mercury retrograde energy, FYI. But I will touch on that energy and what the Mercury retrograde energy is and all about later when we get to that point. Okay. All right. But right now, currently, we are in new moon energy. New moon in Capricorn. We on that Capricorn Aquarius cusp. Okay. So shout out to all the Capricorn Aquarius cuspers. All right. Shout out to the Cuspers. And if your birthday is anywhere between January 16th, 17th, January 17th through January 22nd, you a cusper. Capricorn Aquarius cusper or Aquarius Capricorn cusper. Okay? FYI. Hello, Ronald Simmons Sr. So I'm going to get the affirmation for today. And then I'll get the, I'll go over to members and do the on a positive note message. What is the affirmation for today? Listen now. Look, we had this yesterday. Self-worth. This was the affirmation yesterday. So I'm not going to take this because it was the affirmation yesterday. Hello, Zach Xbox. That's crazy. We was talking about video games last night on the live. I was talking about how I was beating my son in Mortal Kombat. Friendship at the top, adventure at the bottom. Oh. Somebody's planning a cruise, going on a cruise. Are your friends worth it? Ask yourself that. Are they really your friends? Somebody need to ask themselves, are they friends really their friends? Somebody's trying to plan some type of cruise. That's what I just heard. Will it be worth it? Ask yourself, is it worth it? Or you're asking yourself that. You got some bitter friends. That's why you need to reevaluate something before. Look, it's there again. Friendship and breathing at the bottom. Bitterness is what came out. Somebody got some bitter friends or bitter people around them that pretends to be their friend. Okay. Maybe you got some people around you that pretend to be your friend. I'm going to read that, and then I'll read the affirmation. Look, he just said, take a good look. Now, for whatever reason, I wanted to hear some Motown music. Because for whatever reason, I kept hearing Smokey Robinson voice. I kept hearing Smokey Robinson voice. And then it made me think about my grandfather. Now, let me tell y'all something, right? This is a grandfather I don't remember ever meeting him, right? This is my dad's biological father. I never remember meeting him. But okay. Virgo. Smokey Robinson, real name is William Robinson, right? Ask me how I know. But so it reminded me of a time where my dad told me to go to California to meet some of my family. He wanted me to go to California so bad to meet some of my family. Extended family. Yeah. So, why does that matter? Why is that coming up in my energy? So look, I can't even remember if my dad's biological father is a Virgo or not. But listen, what made me think of that and why I said Virgo is because when I used to do readings, and if I'm not mistaken, I did the reading last year, and it was a Virgo message. And I remember in that reading, I kept talking about my family on my dad's side. I kept talking about my family on my dad's side. And Smokey Robinson is my dad's biological father's first cousin. But why I was just reminded of that is crazy to me. But I never remember. I only got a picture of him. I never remember meeting that man. He lived in Illinois, though. I do know that. I do know he lived in Illinois. And I believe a quote unquote sister or sibling, supposedly, I don't know the facts, of my dad's on his dad's side. Her name is Patricia, if I'm not mistaken. But it's crazy because somebody got on here last night and asked me, is my name Patricia? Somebody asked me, was my name Patricia a couple months ago too on here. And I never met her. I never met that lady. I only communicated with her a little bit on Facebook. We was messaging each other, and she sent me pictures of my great grandmother. And who else? And we were supposed to meet up in Detroit, and we didn't because something happened with her and her son or something like that. I don't know. That's the last I heard from that lady. I ain't heard nothing else from her. But she wanted to meet me and my kids, and I wanted to meet her. And then when I asked her about it, she said something came up. That's too suspect for me. You feel me? Any red flags, it's just for me. I don't do red flags, baby. It's so automatic. We don't even play. I don't play no games. I know better. When my antennas get it's a no. So that's crazy. I don't know why why I got. Listen, now I want to go watch the reading. And I did it, I think, over a year ago. I keep all my readings, y'all. When I used to do readings and stuff, I said they are saved on a flash drive. Like, I keep them because it's not for no reason. But that just reminded me of that Virgo reading I did, and I believe I did it last year. And in that reading, I talked about being related to Smokey Robinson and a couple other people. I talked about a lot of my relatives. I don't know. It's weird. And then I just thought about that again. I don't know. Maybe somebody going on a cruise. Okay, because how that came from that song. That song. And it was Smokey Robinson, and he said be careful something in that song that was playing. I don't know, you're gonna have to rewind it. Cause I was talking about somebody going on a cruise with their friends. Somebody got some bitter friends. Somebody need to reevaluate their friends before they take a trip. Before you take a trip with a friend or who you think is your friend, just reevaluate your circle. Somebody don't need it. Whew. It's at least one person that's going on a cruise with someone who does not need to go. It's a no. Don't take this person on no cruise with you. You thought about it already. You thought it over multiple times. Don't do it. Because now I'm hearing, I love it when we're cruising together. Ah, cruising is safe. Oh, okay, because that's my song. Alexa, play Cruising by Smokey Robinson. Yeah, they said music was made for love. Yes! I'm telling you. Alexa, volume up too. I'm going to read the affirmation. But what this song got to be relevant to somebody for whatever reason. Somebody might have a message in this song. But I remember I kept hearing this song around that same time I did that Virgo reading. You know what? He is a Virgo. Smokey Robinson is a Virgo. Him and his wife, I believe, is both Virgos or Pisces. Let me see. DeAndre, quit playing, honey. Yes. I gotta look. I wanna see if it's gonna show up. Yes. Okay. He a Pisces. I knew it. Okay. February 19th, 1940. Okay, I don't know. Nah. Maybe somebody need to go on a cruise with just one person, baby. um. Mm. Maybe somebody on their way towards somebody. I don't know. And then I wonder when his wife birthday is, cause I think she the same sign as him, or either she a Virgo. She either a Pisces or a Virgo. He a Pisces. What's her name? Francis or Francine or something like that. I think it's Francis. I don't remember. Let me look. Oh, they birthday the same day? Get out of here. Their birthday is the same day. Okay, so I ain't tripping. Oh, that's interesting. Well, at least that's what it say online. These people don't know what they talking about. Because then they talking about she's 73 years old as of May. She beautiful, though. I remember when I first saw her, I said, she is so beautiful. I don't know. Because why is they all in my energy? All right. John, take a look around. Hey, Southside Brawlin', what's going on? Blessed Sunday to you, honey. Good afternoon, Brian. Quit playing with me with that Patriot stuff. You already know. We don't do that. King Grayson, what's going on? You said you would have asked him. I am on time. What's going on? I like that. I like that. Okay. Well, Deshaun, pray about it, honey. Alexa, write me down too. That's all I can tell you. Pray about it. Relationships are in a crisis, only if you allow them to be. Because you could easily, we all have free will. So if you choose to deal with, something in that regards, then hey, that's your choice. It's a choice to deal with what we deal with, accept what we accept. It's a choice, honey. BZ. So I'm gonna read this because I don't know how all that we got into all that. That's really weird. I'm gonna have to find that letter my dad gave me. My dad gave me a letter with some information in regards to some of our relatives in it. And I don't know what I did with it. I'm sure I'm gonna have to look. Because that's really crazy. I don't know, but I'm gonna read this affirmation, okay? Don't take no bitter nothing on no cruise with you, okay? The ship gonna sink. Maybe somebody bitter because the ship sinking, baby. I don't know, okay? Maybe you want to cruise with somebody else and somebody ain't feeling it. Oh, Lord. Oh, that's so crazy. That just reminded me last night, y'all. I had this dream last night and it blew my brain back. Cause I could see a man crying. I don't know, it was weird. But I could see a man crying. It was like over a breakup. And it's crazy because I was in the car with my brother. And my brother was talking to the man. And he rolled the window down a little bit and was like, look who I got in the car with me. And then the dude seen me and start crying. And this is my brother that was killed years ago in 2006. I was in the car with him. And he was picking up this man's kids. He picked up two of this man's kids. They got in the back seat of the car. And then he was like, look who I got with me. And he rolled the window down and dude seen me and start crying. That was weird. I don't know. I really ain't thought about the dream too much until just now. Because it was real weird. Yeah. I appreciate you, Southside. Yeah, that's a task right there. That was the death. That was a death that challenged me. It challenged me to grow. It challenged me to heal. It challenged me and it changed me in a lot of ways. It changed me. So, you know, it was a challenge. It was a challenge. Mm-hmm. It be like that when you have things you need to heal from and lessons you need to learn so you can move forward in life and be productive in life and not just accept anything. It's necessary. You definitely you go through what you go through. But it made me a more forgiving person. It gave me a different level of forgiveness and compassion that you could ever imagine. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But yeah, the man, the most, I wouldn't say complicated, but the hardest deaths that I experienced was in 2024. My dad, my oldest brother, and my mom. They all passed away in 2024, months apart. That was the that was the one right there. That was the one. Cause my oldest brother was somebody I actually, he was my sibling that I actually communicated with, that I actually talked to. So he was one of my siblings that actually would call and check on me and my kids. And my son, my youngest son, had a relationship with him. So that was complicated to see my son go through that. Then my mom, me and her had our own bond. After years of not having a relationship, we developed our own bond. So I was grateful for that. That made her death a lot easier. Cause had me and my mom not worked out our differences and we didn't heal what was the animosity and we didn't mend things between us, that would have crushed me. But because we were able to heal the things between us and I was able to overlook her addictions and her circumstances and the things we grew up in, it made our life and relationship and our bond that much stronger. So the healing was worth it. It was worth it. And my dad, that was what it was. So it was complicated, but I accepted it. One thing about me, I accept death for what it is, because I know death a little differently than most. I see it a little differently than most. So I accept it for what it is. And I show gratitude for the individuals for what they were for my life, into my life, and my children's lives. And I let it go. So, do I miss them? Absolutely, of course. I be wanting to call my mama and tell her all types of stuff, because that's what I used to do. Like my daddy will call me and ask me about everybody. But I'm grateful for their presence for when they was here, and the things that they taught me, and the skills that they gave me, and the ways that it helped develop me into who I am now and today. So had they not did what they did, and had they not gave me the skills that they gave me, and had my dad not pour into me the way he did mentally and emotionally, I wouldn't have the type of mindset that I have. A lot of my mindset comes from my father. And a lot of people didn't like him. He was crazy as shit. Like, that's for real. Like, my dad was something else. He was something else. But that was still my daddy. And we had the relationship we had because we always talked. We always talked. I talked to him about everything. He talked to me about everything. So the only time we didn't talk to each other was when my sister interfered with that, and she tried to turn us against each other. So, it is what it is. That's how relatives do. Some. Because not all families behave like that. But that's how some relatives are. They'll try to turn other family against you to build themselves up, to make themselves look like something that they are not. And then that's when you become the black sheep, and you're shunned, and you're this and you're that. But that's okay, because that's when God snatch you up and be like, okay, I got you, baby. You belong to me. You mine. That's when God really put his hands on you and be like, I got you. I got you. So that's how I see it. I don't hold any resentment for my mother or father's actions in the past, or anyone else for that matter. At this point, I don't hold any resentment against anyone. I don't hold grudges, never have. I don't understand why. Well, I understand now, but years ago I couldn't understand why I was so forgiving, and why I was always quick to be like, it's okay, knowing it ain't okay, but I'd be like, it's okay. Because in my mind, I'm like, why dwell on something that either A, I can't change, or B, I can change? So there's no need to dwell on it. Either I'm going to change it or I'm not going to change it. Either way, it's my choice. So once I learned that I have a choice in every situation and in every matter of my life, then that's when the change started to unfold and started to happen. Okay? So, yeah. That's why one of my favorite scriptures is going to forever be, for when my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. Teach me thy way. You feel me? Because when God grab you, it don't matter what nobody else do. Not your parents, not your siblings, not nobody. Only thing that matters is what you do. That's why I tell y'all, it's all about y'all. It's all about you, nobody else. It don't matter what nobody else do to try to hurt you, harm you, discredit you, belittle you, disrespect you. The only thing that matters is you in every situation. How you handle the situation, how you deal with the situation. That's why I always tell y'all, it's not what you go through, it's how you get through it. It's how you get through what you're going through. The things that you do while you're going through things. Because if you're going through a negative situation or you're going through a hard situation and life get a little rough, if you decide to do wrong while you're going through this, you're creating bad karma for yourself. Then that's going to cause you to just beat yourself up. And you're going to be like, dang, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, I'm going through that, I'm going through this. But you're not paying attention. At that point, you stop being aware of what you're doing. You're no longer looking at the actions you're taking that's jeopardizing your life or creating worse situations for you. So you have to step back and really pay attention like, well, then I did do that while I was, and I ain't had no business. And why I do that? And why was I, you kind of accountability, baby. Because I tell y'all, it's not what you go through. It's not, nothing is about what you go through. The only thing that's when you could, where you should consider what you're going through is the lesson that's in what you're going through. Because there's a lesson in every situation, in every circumstance, in every endurance. There's a lesson there for you. There's something valuable there for you to take. It's something valuable from every situation for you to take. It's just up to you whether you take it or learn better and apply it to yourself to help you grow better. That's up to you. It's a you thing. It's all about you. You may not see it as it's all about you. You may not think of it as it's all about you, but at the end of the day, it's all about you. It's all about your perspective. It's all about how you see the situation. It's all about how you react to the situation. It's all about the way you speak over your life and others, even. It's all about you. So don't give away your power by putting emphasis on the things that other people do to you. You giving them your power by doing that. By bringing these people up and saying, well, you did this and you did that and you did that and you did this. You giving away your power. That's something I had to learn though, even. That's something I had to learn. I'm giving you way too much power and way too much credit because you don't have that control over my life. You don't have that control over me. You're giving control over you and over your life by doing that. So you don't want to do that. You want to step back. You don't feed the negative energy because they feast off of it. It's people out here that really feast off of the negativity. They feast off of it. It feeds them. It helps them grow stronger in the bush crap. I ain't supposed to be cussing. But don't feed it. Don't feed the negative beast. Okay? If you're going to feed the beast within you, the positive beast that's going to take action and be consistent and help you grow better. Feed that beast within you. That beast is everything you pour your energy to, everything you give to, you either speak in life or death into. You speak in beginnings or endings into. So, including yourself. So that's why I tell y'all be careful And be mindful of the words you speak over yourself. Like when y'all be on here talking about, I'm sorry and I'm this and I'm that, don't speak that over yourself. Give yourself more credit. Okay? Show yourself a little more gratitude, a little more appreciation. Because when you do, nothing anyone else says is going to make or break you. It ain't going to bother you one bit. And it's going to come off all like you nonchalant and you don't care about nothing and you inconsiderate. Be inconsiderate to people's negativity. Yes, you should be. Very inconsiderate. Don't consider it at all. Not even a little bit. None. Zero. Nada. Zilch. You ain't got to consider it. That ain't your job to consider it. That's not your business. I tell you all the time, how other people feel about you is not your business. It has nothing to do with you. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. Okay? That's called projection. Yeah, that's called projection, Deshaun. And what you do when people start trying to project their negativity onto you for their lack of accountability, you go ahead and dismiss them and leave it right there. But you also, before you dismiss them, you make sure you hold them accountable. You hold people accountable. Okay? And you can hold people accountable respectfully. It don't take for you. You don't have to cuss them out. You don't have to belittle them. All you got to do is speak the truth. Speak your truth and you stand in it. You stand on it. That's all you do. That's holding people accountable. And you continue to grow better in the process. But what you don't do, you don't allow others to project onto you when you know truth, when you know the truth, when you know what's what. Don't allow that, because then you create a space. You openly create a space for others to project their negativity and whatever else onto you. Don't do that. Don't allow it. You hold people accountable and you walk in your truth. You walking in your truth and standing in your truth is part of your authenticity. That's part of you being true to who you are. That's it. So, yeah. Okay. I don't know. Listen, baby. I don't know. But that didn't just all come up for no reason. Okay. I don't know. It was a lot. Hello, Raphael. Hey, Amara. Sierra. Twin. But yeah, I didn't listen. You have a choice, right? One thing for sure, our parents, they do the best they can, the best to their ability, right? And although we may feel like they could or could have done better, they did what they could do. They did what God allowed them to do. They did what they knew how to do. And they did not do what they didn't know how to do. Okay? So, holding things against our parents, it benefits us none. However, it could definitely hold us back. It could keep us stuck in traumatic childhood experiences. It could keep us stuck in an unhealed energy. It could keep us stuck from reaching our full potential because in the back of your mind, you've developed some type of traumatic response, a trauma response, to where when you get triggered, you react a certain way according to how others treat you or mistreat you or however they don't treat you that you feel they should. But you have to learn how to treat yourself so that when others don't meet your expectations, you are still okay. You are still whole. You still have your mind. You still able to live with your heart, an open heart. Okay? And your spirit is still whole. Okay? This and I'm telling you, my mama and daddy was crazy. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Hey Sebastian, what's going on, honey? If you mess up on your way to finding truth, we should apologize for hurt we've caused. Absolutely, Sebastian. Hold on. Sebastian said, but if we mess up on your way to finding truth, we should apologize for hurt we've caused. We should still be held accountable for mistakes we have made. This is why I tell y'all, try to right your wrongs. You always try to right your wrongs. Okay? Because your actions determine your karma. Okay? It's law, universal law. So you try to right your wrongs. If you can right your wrongs, great. If you cannot, you cannot. But at least you know you tried. At least God know you tried. At least your universal flow is aware. Your universal flow is aware of your attempt, your actions, your thought. You know what you're doing. I'm trying to keep it to a, you know, I want y'all to be able to understand. Well, I want everybody to be able to understand some of the stuff I say because I know a lot of. Never mind. Okay, Deshaun. Talking about you ain't no bad looking dude. You're right, Deshaun. Women are very emotional. They supposed to be. Women are supposed to be emotional. You expecting a woman not to be a woman, it would be pure insanity. Women are supposed to be emotional. However, women should learn how to control their emotions. Emotional intelligence would do a woman great, great. Because a woman developing emotional intelligence would help her develop in her wisdom greatly. But a woman is supposed to be emotional. As we are literally built with emotion for a reason. For a very significant reason. Just like men are built the way they are for a very significant reason. And no, men are not going to be emotional in a way that women are because they're not built to do so. Men carry emotion though. And men should also develop emotional intelligence. You said about people expecting apologies. Sebastian, what you talking about? You confusing me. I didn't say nothing about people expecting apologies. I said I hope no one is thinking I'm expecting any apologies. I know what post you talking about. Ugh, Lil G, your energy is disgusting. Hello to the family, twin. Hi, family. Yeah, I know what post you talking about. Anybody from my past that I've wronged, I've already spoken to. So that's not what I was saying. That's not what I said. Yeah, I didn't say I hope no one from my past is expecting an apology. I would never say that. That's not what I said. I said I hope no one from my past thinks that I'm expecting them to apologize or anything else. That's what I said. I don't know why people like twisting my words up, because, well, I guess that's been the thing to do this weekend, because, baby, Lord. Let me read this because I didn't read it, okay? And then I'm going to read this affirmation because we've been on here almost an hour and I still got to do the members' messages, okay? This says, it is in fact that nothing positive in the world has ever been brought about by bitterness. No matter what injustice we have suffered, and some, of course, take a lot more time to overcome than others, we need to find the strength to free our minds and hearts of bitterness, to be at peace with the world and find contentment in the things we cherish. Okay? Here's the affirmation. I take control of my emotions and banish bitterness from my life. I am a happy and peaceful soul. Ashe. Yeah. Um, Maybe somebody's parents make them bitter. Somebody need to do some healing work. Okay? Cause how we got on the subject of my family and my relatives is crazy. But yeah. You know, let me tell y'all something. When I be telling y'all evil and people's hateful projections don't bother me, I say that. And when I be like, it doesn't bother me because I grew up in it, I come from that. It was my choice because we all have a choice. It was my choice to walk with God. It was my choice to walk in my light. It was my choice to stay there and stand there and be confident in doing so. So to attempt to try to knock me down off of that or out of that in any type of way, you'll destroy yourself. Okay? My parents was the darkest people I've ever known. My mother, she was a little in between her light and her dark. Okay? She was a little in between. My dad was one that some would consider very evil. Okay? But I never judged my father according to what other people said about him. Never. I always accepted him for how he treated me as his daughter. I'm his first daughter, for as far as I know. Okay? So I always accepted my father for how he treated me. If he treated me anything outside of love, consideration, and protection, he did it behind my back, and I didn't know about it. So I always treated him with love and consideration and understanding because my dad went through a lot, right? However, my dad did spend most of, I say, my life in prison. He did. And he passed away in prison, far as I know, far from my understanding. That's where he passed away at, in Nevada. Okay? So he had a very severe, strong, mean streak, right? A very strong one. I've seen him be mean, very mean to a lot of people. A lot of people, including one of my brothers who threatened my life, including somebody I was married to who used to be physically abusive. Yes, I watched my dad step in on my behalf. I'll say that. So for me to feel the hate towards my father that other people did, I couldn't do. I couldn't do it. I loved him. I was a daddy's girl. Always was. Always talked to my daddy about everything. My daddy taught me a lot. He gave me a whole lot of game about a whole lot of things. Okay? My mother, she was also, like I said, she was in the, she was a little unhinged, as well as my father. But my father was very intelligent. Don't miss that. I'm talking about highly. Spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. Sometimes too much for his own good. Okay? And my grandmama used to say that all the time too. My mother, okay? Very beautiful woman. She was very beautiful. And then, life be life in people sometimes. Life get a hold of people sometimes and get the best of them. All right? Life got the best of my mother, right? I watched my father and my mother both fall. That was my example of how I wanted to be better and how I wanted to break that curse that they set in place for me and my siblings. And that's what I did. Okay? As far as the drugs, because was their lifestyle. My dad was a musician who played instruments, wrote music for people, a lot of successful people at that. He did a lot of things, right? But there's a lot of things he didn't do correctly, and it was his downfall. Drugs and alcohol played a huge part in my family's dysfunction. Okay? With them being married and me watching how they marriage did flips, and you know, it just showed me the type of marriage I never want. Never. Because they had a crazy love. And I say that all the time. They loved each other for sure. But it was the most toxic love I've ever known in my life, that I've ever seen. Ever. Still to this day. But they loved each other. And everybody knew it. They was literally crazy. Literally crazy about each other. Okay? My mother, a wise woman. She was a wise woman. But she made a lot of mistakes. Okay? We'll say that. All right? As we all have made mistakes. So I could never hold that against her. And my mama, that was my baby. I loved my mommy. Like, unconditionally. She couldn't do no wrong in my eyes. I loved her regardless. Even when she pissed me off, I still loved her. And we could not be talking, and she could call me and say, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that, I'm on my way. Okay? So there's nothing that my mother or father could have done that ever made me hate them or ever made me look down on them, because I knew what they went through, I knew their circumstances, and I knew my grandparents. Okay? My father, he chose his life. He chose his path. I tell y'all, we all have a choice. He chose his life. He chose his path. His sister, my aunt, the one I be talking about that I'm named after, she chose a completely different path than her brother. I'm talking about they paths, baby, listen, completely different. They come from the same woman, the same intelligent woman, my grandma Gloria, that I always talk about. Okay? She taught me everything that I want to be as a woman, my grandma Gloria. Okay? Very smart woman. Very loving, caring, compassionate woman. Very kind-hearted woman. Very genuine woman. Okay? A great wife. A great mother to the best of her ability. An amazing grandmother. You hear me? So these people help mold and shape me into who I am. Okay? I will never take from them. Not even in regards to the bad. Okay? I count it all joy. Because at the end of the day, I'm a very happy person within myself and with the things that I hold within myself. Okay? So they created something great. They created something amazing. I will never take that from them. I've had a lot of people try to get me to hate my parents. And oh, they wouldn't. My sibling, my sister, she hated my mama and my daddy. She hated them. She didn't like them at all. She couldn't stand them. Talk bad about them all the time. Talk about how they wasn't this, they wasn't that, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. And that unhealed energy that she chose to live in shaped and created who she is as an individual. And I ain't going to say who she is or who she is not, because I don't know, because I don't speak to her. Okay? We don't talk. So I don't know how she is right now, but I know how she was, and it wasn't nothing good. So I could only imagine how it is now. And I continue to pray for her to be better and to heal whatever in her is broken that needs to be healed. Okay? Because we came from some broken shits. We came from some broken things. My brothers, they all did all the what they wanted to do, and they chose their paths, which involved drugs and alcohol. Drugs was the reason my one brother was killed years ago. Alcohol is the reason my other brother passed away in 2024. So for me to sit up and say, oh, my brother's this, my brother's that, I can't do that. And why I don't do that is because I appreciate the lessons that came with them being my siblings. I appreciate the lessons that came behind their death. And I appreciate the opportunity that God gave me to grow better and to reverse that curse and to grow out of that. Okay? I haven't been drunk since 2016. 2016. Okay. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do no drugs. I ain't never did a drug. I used to smoke weed. Years. It's been a very long time, baby. And with the sons, the teenager sons that I have, my youngest will be 16 tomorrow. My other is 18. It's a challenge on a daily basis. But I think about how much I've gained from not smoking and drinking and how much my mind has developed, how much I've developed mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, psychologically, financially, and it there's no way. There is no way I could see myself. I don't see myself in no shape, form, or fashion hitting the reverse button and going backwards. That don't exist for me. I'm where I'm at now because I chose to be where I am now. I chose to do the healing work. I chose to release my past. I chose to release whatever issues I had dealing with the abusive situations I was dealing with in the past. I chose to do the work. It ain't easy. Doing the work ain't easy, but it is a choice. You have a choice. We all have a choice. Okay? We all have a choice. You have a choice to be good, bad, or evil. It's a choice. Okay? I tell you all the time, we all have light and dark. It's our higher and lower self. Your battle is between your higher and lower self. Do you want to live in your higher self? Do you want to live in your lower self? That's your choice. But please believe, living in your lower self comes with severe consequences. Living in your higher self, it comes with great blessings. Divine blessings. It's a choice, though. You have a choice. Do you want to live a chaotic, destructive, unhinged lifestyle? Or do you want to live in peace, love, and gratitude? It's a choice. And that choice is easy. Once you've done that healing work, you making a choice between living in chaos and living in peace is very easy. Very easy. I've had so many people tell me it's so scary. I don't know if I want to talk to you because it's scary just knowing you would be willing to walk away from anything or anyone at any time if it does not serve my highest good and it's not aligned with my purpose and it comes with chaos, destruction, confusion, and manipulation. I will eliminate it immediately. I will walk away immediately. I will start completely over immediately. Because not no thing or no one is worth me sacrificing myself, my health, my integrity, or my peace. I will eliminate and walk away from anything at any time. I don't care, friend, family, relative, job, it don't matter. At any time. Because my thing is, if you really appreciate me, or you respect me, or you grateful for me, you're going to show that the first time. You're going to express that the first time. If I can express that the first time, in initial conversation, initial interaction, if I can show that the first time, so can you. And if you choose not to, yes, of course, I'm going to dismiss you real quick. Because it don't take much. It don't take much. I'm very simple. And I'm very happy within myself. I have peace within myself. I'm not letting nobody disturb that. You can't disrupt that. And if you try, that's on you. That's your choice. But it come with consequences. Yeah. So I ain't disrupting nobody peace. I ain't causing chaos in nobody's life. I don't cause destruction for nobody's life. I don't wish ill on nobody. Not even people who done me wrong. The person I used to be married to, he be shocked. Like, I can't believe you just, yeah, why not? Why not forgive you? Why not forgive you? Why not give you the grace and mercy that I've been shown? And I may not have been shown grace and mercy in those same ways, but I'm going to give you that same grace and that same mercy and that same forgiveness because we all deserve it. We all deserve it, no matter what. Now, what you choose to do after you've been given that grace and you've been shown mercy and you've been given that forgiveness, that's up to you what happens after that. What you do with it is on you. We all have a choice. So, okay. Rant over. You said some people have to know you. You don't know it. No, DeAndre. You don't have to know a thing about a person to treat them with humility and respect. You don't have to know a thing about a person. No. Initially, you treat people the right way. You treat people how you would want to be treated. And if in return you are not treated with the same respect, or you in return see this person as something different than they showed up the first time, then you remove yourself. But you treat people how you would want to be treated. That's law. You treat people how you want to be treated. Raphael, you didn't fail him. You tried. You did what you could. You let God, you do. Listen, y'all. Y'all do what y'all can do. You let God do the rest. You do what you can do, and you let God do the rest. Let God do the rest. Okay. Ruchi, what's going on? Hey, Reese's. Y'all, listen. Let me go back up through the chat. Aria, what's going on, honey? You're right. And some people, you're right, Aria. Some people don't want to know you. They'll rather think and assume than getting to know you. And then guess what happens? That's on them. That don't have nothing to do with you. That ain't your problem. That's on them. That's something they gotta deal with. Cause when they see how you really are and they see that how you presented yourself as your true self, and not no facade, not no mask. You ain't wearing nothing that gotta be peeled back. And they realized, hey, this person really who they said they was. That's on them. That's on them. Hopefully they ain't do you wrong. Hello, Sibo. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Sebastian, in that case, you said you and your dad live in two completely different realities. That's how it was for me and my mom. The one thing that me and my mom and me and my dad could always agree on, me and my dad, common sense, intellect, spirituality. Those were our common grounds. Okay? And with my mom, God. God was me and my mom's common ground. It didn't matter. My mama knew I'm telling y'all, when I tell y'all I ain't never played about God, not never. It didn't matter what the religious preference was, the spirituality level, or none of that. I knew God. I knew God was real from a very young age. I just needed to get to know God for myself. I had to look in the mirror. Listen, baby, listen. I had to get to know God for myself and within myself to develop the closeness. I say that I wanted. That was me and my mom's common ground. God. Even when I was going to church, my mom used to I couldn't get my mama to go to church with me for nothing. Even in relationships, I would try to get people to go to church with me. Never, never. But I ended up my mom was she was sober, right? Um if you don't know and you haven't heard me talk about, my mom suffered, she dealt with addiction real bad. And I ended up getting her clean. She was all clean and we was rocking, right? She was so happy to be clean though. She was so proud to be clean. She was so proud and so happy to be able to spend money on her kids and her grandkids and not spend money on drugs. She was happy about it. She was proud of that. And I knew it. And she was like, I just want to do something for you. And I'm like, you don't got to do nothing for me. I wouldn't let her do nothing for me. I didn't let her do a thing for me. She did some stuff for my kids and it made her feel so good. But I could see the joy that it gave her. I felt the joy it gave her. So I allowed her to do that. Man, I got her to go to church with me when she was in that state, in that mental state, physical, financial state. I got her to go to church with me. And she was like, why you ain't tell me you be singing? Because she didn't know. She didn't know because she hadn't came to church. So the only way you would know I was singing is if you came to church. But I got her to come to church and she got to see me up there singing with everybody else. But, that was us creating healthy, strong, good memories. Everyone is not able to do that. And I'm telling you, why you can and you have the opportunity, create healthy, strong memories because it's going to matter. And that also helps you eliminate that trauma, that past trauma, childhood trauma, and triggers. It'll help you eliminate that. So if you're able to create better memories, find a common ground where you and your people can communicate on, okay? It'll work. You just got to find a common ground. Find something y'all do agree on instead of focusing on we live in two different realities. Because that was me and my mom. That was me and my dad. We lived in two different realities. But there was always a common ground. So you that's where you meet at. Okay? You said I'm mean. I don't got no anger in me. I don't. Thank God. I had some anger in me about a week ago. Maybe about 2 weeks ago, but baby, listen. Yeah. I had some anger in me about 2 weeks ago. And I wouldn't even call that anger, more like frustration. Yeah. And God removed that right up out of me, off my path. Thank you, Lord. Hello, Marcus Willis. God bless you as well. Nothing less. Thank you. Yeah, like Arya said, don't dwell on guilt. You know what, Raphael? I'm going to tell you something. With my brother that was killed years ago, I used to feel bad about his death because right before he was killed, he came to me and he apologized to me and asked for my forgiveness. And I told him no. So for years, I felt bad. And I used to always feel like maybe if I would have accepted his apology instead of telling him to get the fuck out of my house, then none of that would have happened. And all of it, my mind would play it over and over and over and over and over. But then I realized how we choose our paths. Okay. And yes, I could have handled the situation differently. But at the time, I was completely broken with somebody I didn't want to be with, dealing with a abusive situation. That then I had a lot of pent up anger. But as time went by and I started to heal from those things and heal from the abuse, it just helped me realize I couldn't have changed anything about that situation. Because one thing for sure, when God step in and say, okay, now is the time, God gonna step in. And that's the time. You can't control God's timing. We don't control God's timing. Well, thank you, Ruchi. I appreciate that, honey. Yeah, we would love to know God's timing, and when you're in it, you'll know it. That's okay. But we would love to be able to change things and hit the fast forward and hit the rewind, but we can't. It is what it is. It is what it is. God gonna do what God do. The universe is gonna shift and we gonna adjust to the shift, or we not, and it's gonna leave us in stagnation, dwelling, pondering, wondering how, why, what, this, that, this. You know, set your set yourself free, set your mind free. It's supposed to. Excuse me. Listen, pain is normal. Pain, to feel hurt about something or losing someone, that's a normal feeling. That's a is grief is painful. Grief is the most painful feeling, thing, emotion that you can experience, okay? But you allow yourself to go through it. Allow yourself to go through that process. No, it ain't easy. Yes, it's heavy. Yes. Yes, Arya. Hello, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Leslie. Thank you, darling. I appreciate it. Ruchi, that's where you learn. That's when you learn to step back. Ask yourself what you could do different next time so it don't happen again. That's what you do. Ask yourself what you could do differently next time so it don't happen again. Arya, there's nothing wrong with thinking that. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I gotta get off of here because I still gotta do the on a positive note message in members, and I gotta do the moon energy. I think I'm gonna do the moon energy message later this evening. I do the moon energy message in members this evening. I'm getting ready to do the on a positive note message right now though over in members. Um Y'all, today is Sunday, so I won't see y'all this evening unless you over in members. Okay. I got you know what's so crazy? We was just talking about my daddy, and his name is Anthony. And here comes an ass, jackass. It's in the Bible. Ah, okay. Listen. Oh, yes. I'm going to start using words in the Bible. I ain't going to feel bad then. I ain't going to feel bad. Anthony, you got to get your jackass the hell out of here. Okay? Yes, Lord. Okay. Why ain't think of that sooner? All right. Okay. I feel better. Oh, we'll toast to that. You said that was a week's paycheck. See, Ruchi, even if you talk to God about it, you got to ask yourself, what could you do differently in this situation for it not to happen again? Was it something you did? Was it something you didn't do? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself what you could do differently. Because you know, it's not so much as goodness. I don't think you was fooled the first time. I don't think you was fooled the first time. You seem a little, you know, too intelligent to be fooled in that way. Oh, shoot. What kind of laptop was it? Was it a Dell or an Apple? Whew, Aria, you better say that. That's why I tell you, you gotta get caught up in the constant flow of change. I'm hungry. What time is it? 3:43. Whew, I can eat in another hour. I can eat at 5. I can't eat till after 5 o'clock. Hey, 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 Leo Tyler. Hey, hey, hey. My hand's cold. You got a point there, Arya. See, Ruchi, and that lets you know, don't let nobody else rush you into nothing else. Nothing else. See, that could have been a lesson for a lot more things, not just that one thing. Don't let nobody rush you into nothing else. That's a lesson right there. My hand's cold. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and do this members on a positive note message. So what I want y'all to do until we meet tomorrow is figure out ways to work through any triggers you may have. You said you hungry now too. For real, like I'm really hungry. I didn't eat last night. I ate them oranges while we was live. Figure out any triggers you may have, okay, that relate to or come from your childhood trauma, okay? And I want you to write down some ways to help you that will help you release those things, okay? Because as we are in new moon energy, new moon in Capricorn, it's actually in the energy of Capricorn and Aquarius because we're on that Capricorn Aquarius cusp. And I am going to go deeper into it in the moon energy message later this evening on members. But it's the energy, Capricorn and Aquarius are both Saturn energy. Okay, Saturn is Capricorn's ruling planet, right? Which is what I like to call the planet of return. Okay. So what are you putting out to receive? Okay. What are you doing? What is, because that's going to determine your karma, baby. But it also speaks on the energy of stability, you being grounded, okay, structure, and all of those things. So what I want you to do is write down some things that will help you build on your stability, your overall stability, okay? As well as your structure and your environment, because that helps you thrive better. The structure that you have within yourself, for yourself, and the structure around you, okay? It helps you thrive better, all right? So just FYI, all right? And we'll talk about that later. Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow, all right? Um, what else? That's it. I just want to give y'all the little task to help y'all out, especially with the energy we in. Okay, I will see you later, twin. I know that's right, Aria. You sound like me, baby. You said, I thank God at least I ain't in that over it. And at least it wasn't something more big of a deal. Like that one car my mama bought and took. Baby. Marlo. Y'all be blessed. Nothing less. I will see you. If you're on members, I'll see you in a minute. If not, I'll see y'all in the morning. Hit the notification bell, okay? I love y'all. Be blessed. Nothing less. Ruchi, you be safe and don't be fooled, honey. Okay? Tell whoever it is tricked you. Tell her come see us. We got something to talk about. I'll talk to y'all later.